Yeah, obviously another great team win for us. Final 23-10. Secure the MAC East title, get a chance to go play Toledo and Detroit in a couple weeks, which is what everybody sets out to do. There's, like what I say, there's 10 conferences. There may only be 9 after this year, but there's 10 conferences right now. There's 20 teams in the country that get to experience what we're going to get to experience. It's hard to get there. Even harder in our league because games are so tight. But another great team win. We talk every week. It's just we don't know how the game's going to go. We know we're number 1 in scoring defense. They're number 2 in scoring defense in the league. They're number 1 in takeaways in the league. So we thought it would be fight for every yard. Its first quarter was that way. No one moved the ball at all. Both defenses kind of hunkered down and taking it to the offense. Second quarter, we had gained field position through defense and special teams. Kenny rips off a nice run for 37 yards. We go up 3-0 and get the first score, which the way our games are going right now, every score is huge. So you're up 1 score. Get another stop, put together a nice drive, go 88 yards. And Rashad bounces a run and takes it in and gets a great block from Joe Wilkins. Great job up front. And now you're sitting 10-0 with a couple minutes going to half, and you've scored on 2 straight drives. And you feel pretty good. They have a nice 2-minute drive. We don't have a nice 2-minute drive on defense, and they get it to 10-3, which was disappointing because I felt like if you're up 10-0 at half, you're really in good shape. Third quarter, again, we get a drive. We get that score back immediately. Now you're up 13-3, so Javon Tracy makes a nice catch. Avion makes a really nice throw on that drive for a big chunk play. Every one of our scoring drives, we got chunk plays on, two via the runs, 2 via the pass. So Javon catches a roll route, really nice. We get down there, we get a field goal. We're back up 2 scores. Defense gives up a touchdown, which is obviously rare nowadays for our defense to give up a touchdown. But even that drive went bad. We stopped them twice. We stopped them 4th down a punt. We knew they were going to run their pop. We knew if they faked it, they were going to run the pop pass. We were yelling, "Watch the pop pass," and we didn't watch the pop pass. And they executed, and we didn't. And we took our eyes off our guy, and that's how easy it is. Just one guy not doing their job. Then we get another stop, and then we jump offside after a made field goal. Even at 13-6, you feel good. But now they punch in. It's 13-10, and now we're sitting there. We've dropped a touchdown pass early, wide open touchdown pass. We've had 2 4th down blunders, and it's 13-10, and and then our kids we get a stop defensively, and then we go on a quick scoring drive. Beautiful ball to Javon, and Javon makes a great run after catch, and then we punch it in again in the red zone. And again, defense has had the offensive back against probably the last 7 quarters, since OU, where we both kind of played really well against OU. The Akron game was just kind of defense and offense pitching in. Up to that point, it counters that way. Now the offense comes up with a huge drive, makes it 20-10. We get another stop, and then the offense has another huge drive. So 5 of our last 6 possessions, we scored on offense. The first 4 we didn't. And then we scored field goals or touchdowns on 5 or 6. And then the last one, we ran the ball in 4-minute offense and took basically the whole 4th quarter out. They got a chance to get back in it. They make a big play, and Dow makes a bigger play, chasing them down and stripping the ball, and we get to take a knee and go home. And so defense has been incredible, obviously, all year. They've given us 71 points in 7 conference games. I think the next closest is 120-something. So it's not even – it's one to be first in the league. And, I mean, there is – a lot of defenses are really good in the league this year, and a lot of the defenses are getting accolades, which they deserve, because there's a lot of teams in this league playing good defense. It's not been a very good offensive year. There's not many teams in our league. Like, we've had years where most of our league was over 30 points per game, and teams are close to 40. I think Toledo's the only team over 30 points per game in the whole league. So there's a lot of good, but there's not any defense league that's been close to as good as Miami's. People may think it is, but we've given up 71 points in 7 games, and we played Toledo the best offense. Some of those teams didn't even get to play Toledo the best offense. And the next closest, like I said, I think is like almost double as many points as our defense has given. That's how dominant Coach Breeken and Coach Bowen and Coach Brown and Coach Blanton and Zane and Zach, like our guys have been on their business for 7 straight weeks, and that's a big reason. Obviously, Coach Bernowski and special teams, we know with Graham, we know with Bev, and I remind everybody that's our backup punter. That's not our starting punter, and KD with a big return, and then obviously Cade with what Cade's done, and Cade's our backup punt returner. Gage is our starter. We don't have our most electric guy back there. We have our second most electric guy back there. Our second most electric guy is really, 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 really good. And then there's a lot of unsung heroes on special teams, coaches and players that are doing all the dirty work. Graham and Bev and Katie and Cade deserve everything they've gotten, but there's a lot of guys working to help those guys get it. And our special teams has been dominant all year long, but particularly, obviously, in the conference play. And then offensively, obviously pre-Brett, we were pretty explosive. We have not been as explosive last 3 weeks. That's not anybody's fault. Some of it has to do with the play calling. But we've been able to run and throw efficiently. We didn't have a great game against Akron, but against OU, we ran and threw the ball very well. We were very efficient at throwing the ball. We ran the ball very well. Akron, we ran the ball for 180. We didn't throw it very well. Yesterday, we threw the ball efficiently again, and we ran the ball very well. We're rushing for much more yards than our opponents. We had 2 penalties and no turnovers. So very, very proud of coaches, players. Like, we've played really good football to get to 9-2, and that's the biggest takeaway you get from the other coaches. It's just, that we don't make mistakes, that our kids do what they're supposed to do. It's a testament to our kids. It's a testament really to our coaches that the kids buy into what the coaches tell them they actually do, and they don't run around like chickens with their heads cut off. So we played really solid football. We played every which way imaginable, every game imaginable. We are probably the most ready team to play any style of football you want, any type of game. But everybody has each other's back, and I don't mean that they care about each other. I mean it like Saturday at 13-10, we need a drive, we got the drive. We need a 4-minute drive, we get a 4-minute drive. We need a defense to stop. Offense puts them, we don't get a 4th and 2 against Akron, and our defense pulls their neck and gets a stop. If we need a big special teams play. Whenever Saturday is 13-10, I was thinking, offense, now's your time. Like, this is your time to do it. Defense just gave a score. Like, they haven't need much help, but they could use you right now, and bing, 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 we're in the end zone, it's 20-10. And then they get a stop, and we go on another 5-minute drive and say, okay, offense, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. When they need you, you're right there, you're stepping up, making plays. So thought AV was really good. Thought he made great decisions. Thought he really managed the game after the first couple of series. He really settled in. He threw the ball well. He ran the ball well. He managed the game really well. Really handled everything that they threw at him. Obviously, Javon Tracy was huge. Made 5 catches. Huge roll around a touchdown. Huge circus catch. Remind me of Nat Moore for you older people. All the younger generation don't know who Nat Moore is, but Nat Moore, when I was growing up, had the great helicopter catch that we all remembered. It was anytime somebody made a helicopter catch, it was Nat Moore, little 89 for the Dolphins. But most of the younger people have no idea because he's not on Madden or whatever. But and then obviously the wheel route was probably the biggest play there. Was probably the easiest of it. He was open, he caught it, made a nice run. So. Again, did we go in the game thinking Javon Tracy was going to be maybe the player of the game? No, but that's Miami football. Is when opportunities arrive, Javon Tracy's ready to go make plays. And Gage was out, Brett Gabrick's out, Jack Coldiron's out. Like, you're talking about 3 major offensive weapons, and you win 3 straight weeks. So very proud of everybody. We're really excited about Ball State. Got a chance to get to 10 wins. 7 teams in the history of Miami University got to 10 wins. 4 of them were 73, 74, 75, 77 was basically one group. Did it 4 times in 5 years. 3 times in the last 46 years we've had a 10-win season here. So we're trying to make it 4 in 46 years. So 3 of the last 46 years we've never got to 10 wins. Last time I think it was 2011 maybe, whatever, when we won the league. 2010.
Bold win and
yeah. Yeah, but just still they're one of 3 teams the last 46 years that got to 10 wins. I don't know. It's hard to get to 10 wins. It's just, I think there's 8 teams in the country with 10 wins now. There'll be more in the last few weeks here, but it's hard to have a 10-win season, let alone the MAC when we typically play tough non-league schedules, which, you may not have a chance to get 10 wins before conference starts, which is more normal. So we're excited. Obviously, we know Ball State. We play them tough every year. They play us tough every year. It's a close game every year. It comes down the wire every year. They're really good on defense. They're similar offensive style. They're running and running and running and running. The Cooper kid we know from Kent State's dynamic. He torched us a couple years ago in a tough loss. The kid that's playing quarterback now, Kelly, played a fair amount against us last year and had success against us last year. They've gone completely to him, and they're just running. It kind of looks like, what Akron was doing to us just when 10 came in the game, just an all-out assault, every which quarterback read, quarterback bash, quarterback, which again makes it very difficult. So they've been like a lot of teams in this league. They've been very stingy on defense. I know, They were 6-6 with Toledo in the fourth quarter, gave up a 2-minute drive at the end of the game, lost 13-6. They beat Northern Illinois 20-17. Like, they're just not giving up points and yards really in the last 6-7 weeks to anyone. They do a really nice job. So they're 2-4 right now. They'll be 3-4 most likely when we play them. They could easily be, 5-2 when we play them. They're a 7-point loss to Toledo and a 3-point loss to Bowling Green. They're 5-2. We're talking about maybe playing them in the MAC. So most years, difference between 3-4 and 4-3, difference between 3-4 and 6-1 is usually 1 or 2 scores in a game, and they're that team this year, and so they'll be a tough challenge. It'll be their last game. They're not going to bowl game. They're going to want to win their last game with the seniors and all that, and but we're excited again. What do you play? Everybody, we're trying to get to 10 wins. Like, we're not resting kids. We're not. Like, we're trying to keep. We're in a really good place. We're playing really good football. We're going to try to go to Ball State and play really good football and get to 10-2 and get to 7-1 and be the 4th team in 46 years to win 10 games at Miami, and then we're going to try to go win a MAC championship the next week. And then we're going to try to go win a bowl game after that, wherever we get to go. So we still got some awesome things right now on the horizon. And again, when you look at the history and how we had a bad decade from 2006 to 2014, won a great decade. But other than that, we played really good football in Miami for most of those other 46 years, and you only got 3 teams that ever got to 10 wins. And there's a lot of great players, NFL players, Hall of Fame coaches, a lot of great teams that never accomplished that. So you're don't take that lightly with the history and the success of this program. So we're excited. We got an opportunity to do that a week from tomorrow, and we're gonna do everything we can to get there.
Is there any kind of an update on Gage, and what would that do if he was able to come back and team up with Tracy for your offense?
Yeah, obviously we want to get Gage back as soon as possible. I think there's a chance he could play against Ball State. We'll see. I think there's a great chance he plays in the MAC championship game. We're targeting Ball State when the injury happened 2 weeks ago for the return, and we're on pace to do that. We're going to see how these 8 days go. Obviously, with Miles Marshall has proven when the situation arises, he can make big plays. Joe Wilkins has proven when the situation arises, he can make big winning touchdown against Cincinnati, huge roll route, 2 huge catches against Javon Tracy's proved when the opportunity is there. We got Reggie Virgil still. Reggie's going to help our team win a game this year. I'm still convinced that. We got Cade McDonald at receiver, and then if you get Gage back in the mix, we got a lot of weapons. We got a lot of different people that can go make plays and have made plays. Obviously, Gage has been the most dynamic, so you want to get him back, but we've got a good group there, and then, with Javon, with the Kenny catching the ball out of the backfield and Katie catching the ball out of the backfield, you got 2 other weapons that really catch the ball really well. So we got a lot of guys to throw the ball to. We just timing and precision and all that. When we're all on the same page, our pass game is very good.
Coach, do you do anything different in practice this week just to make sure that you are locked in on Ball State and not looking towards the December 2nd?
Yeah, I don't think we have to. We have such. We didn't get to where our kids are. Our kids they'll take the Ball State, and we'll be working on Ball State, and we'll be worried about Ball State. So I don't think that, we're going to definitely use the time, rest, and recovery for sure. It's going into week 12. We need the time. We're not going to put pads on until Monday. So we're going to have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of lifting, rest, recovery, rehab, all that to try to get our kids feeling good for 2 more weeks. But no, we're just kind of keep plodding away. We're pretty good at being boring and stupid and just keeping our heads down. And we're going to get a game plan for Ball State. We're going to start going through. Scouts going to do a good job, and we're going to get prepared to go play Ball State and go win a football game. Obviously, we know Toledo looms. The one thing is we just played Toledo. Okay, Toledo's really good. Can Toledo certainly put in some new wrinkles for the MAC championship game? Certainly they could. We won't know what those are till the MAC championship game, so we can't practice those. Other than that, we know they're not going to change their offense and defense because they're really good. That's what good teams do. They do their stuff. So we've already had a week of prep for the MAC championship. We played Central back in 19. We hadn't played them all year. So, that was a little more like, do you want to start working ahead? We just worked on until we just spent 7 days of our life on Toledo and then played a whole game against Toledo. And again, will they tweak things? Will we tweak things? Yeah, it's going to happen. But again, so to me, we're not in as like, we're playing a new opponent in 2 weeks, and we don't even know anything about them. Maybe we should. We got a pretty good handle on Toledo, and they got a pretty good handle on us. We just 3 weeks ago, we played them, so they're, like I said, I don't think it's looking ahead, or we're like, in the fact we play them, like our kids aren't like, it'd be like a new toy, like we got Central next week and we haven't played them, okay? Well, it'd be hard for our kids not to poke on some tape. Like, we're playing them in 2 weeks for a championship. Like, they don't need to poke on some tape. They lived it. Like, they can tell you, I missed the tackle here. I made the play here. I missed my block. I dropped this ball. They play this. Like, you know what I mean? So there's not even that excitement of, okay, well, I want to open my new Christmas present and see what it looks like. They know they know what team. They know the personnel. They know the players. They know the schemes. They know the ST stuff. So to me, it's, you know, spending 2 weeks of practice on Toledo right now, we wouldn't do that even if we had a bye week, you know? So.
Coach, can you just talk a little bit about the impact that Rashad Amos has had on the offense, especially after losing Brett, just how important he's been with rushing the football?
Yeah, obviously I think he's had over 300 yards the last three. No, he's well over 300 yards. I don't know what's the exact total. But, yeah, big, strong runner, really physical, a lot of yards after contact. He had 125 against OU after contact. And then speed when he gets on the outside. Like, you usually see the bigger back, you know, but he's power and speed. And he's getting better and better as becoming a complete player. That says he's still scratching the surface in my mind of what he can become as a complete back. He is a great runner, and he is good at other things, but he's not great at other things, and he can become great at other things. But obviously, he's been huge the last 3 weeks. You know, our offensive line's been huge the last 3 weeks. Our tight ends and our receivers blocking. All Amos's big runs. You can watch a big run against OU and Gage LeVar and block two different guys on that run. Two different guys. There's two guys coming to get him. He blocked the first one, spun off, didn't block the second one intentionally, but actually picked the second one. So Miles Marshall led him in the end zone a week ago. Now it's Joe Wilkins. So great job interior, but good job on the perimeter blocking too. But obviously he's been huge, and the ground game's been huge. And again, it's funny. There's two moments, like 37-3 at Miami. I remember leaving that press conference saying, it's not really how we want to start this thing off. You know, not really where are we going this year. You know, and then being down on the field with Brett with steering at a significant injury and it's the tougher one with that one too, not the tougher, but the addition to it is like the deja vu, like we've been here before. Like, it's one thing if it happens and it's like, oh my God, it's terrible, but hey, we got a next man up, but it's like, God, we got to do this again. Like, we've got this guy and he's playing at such a high level and he's dominating this league, and we're really good on defense. We're really good on ST, and now we're really explosive on offense. Now we can make a big play at any point in time, and you're like, we're doing it. Then it's like, and then you're regrouping, and all anybody asks is how's the kids, how are they going to respond? That's all. And again, the right questions. Like, that's what should be. Like, because that's what we're all thinking. We're all thinking the same thing. We're all fighting our own demons at that point. We're all trying to move forward, but how do you move forward? And then, they go out and get a resounding victory on the road in Athens, which, again, with Brett, we'd have been an underdog. They're predicted to win the MAC East. They had the returning team. They have basically their whole offense and defense back from a year ago from the team that won our half, and they have the Conference Player of the Year back. So even with our starter, we're probably an underdog there. And then just to go in and do that the way they did it, it's again, it's just an amazing group of coaches, deserve tons and tons and tons of credit, more credit than they get, because everybody talks about how good kids are play football, how sound they are, how disciplined they are. Well, that's coaching. That's not, trust me, they didn't come here that way. If we let them this week run around like chicks with their head cut off, they would love to. They would love to take their eye off their man and go make a play, like we tried on fourth down. We tried to take our eye off our man and go make a play, and that don't work. So it's a really disciplined group, and it's a really together group, and it's easy to say, well, we got each other's back. The reason the defense has the offensive back is because the defense coaches. The reason the offense has the defense back is because the offense coach. Because in most times it's not the players that come apart, it's the coaches. The offense is struggling, the defensive coaches start to complain, and that's what their players are. And then that's the defense is struggling, the offense coaches start to complain, and then. But here it's not that way, because we have a staff that they will stick together through anything. They will support each other throughout. They worry about themselves. Everything we ask, but usually it's the staff that does it. And people don't understand that, but all the coaches in America understand. They're all on staffs right now that's happening. And that's why we've been able to weather a lot of storms and weather tough scheduling non-league, because our staff will stick together. I think I've only had one staff here that didn't stick together, and that's why we have different staff now. So.
Kolby, it's been a couple days since Wednesday's victory. Has it really sunk in that you're going to Detroit?
Not really. It's kind of like a dream come true. Coach Martin said a million times, we've been training for this for 11 months now. Since January started, we've been on go, go, go. So it's not, I don't know when it's going to set in. We're probably going to actually have to be on the field and actually like experiencing everything, but it's very exciting. I know it's a lot of positive things going through the locker room right now, and everybody's very excited for what's about to happen.
Coach talked about it after the game in our post-game interview. It's not only since January that you guys have been working for this. As individuals, you've been working for something like this since you played Pee Wee or
Right.
Pop Warner or something like that. What's it feel like to be able to be in a position to win the MAC championship and finish this season possibly 11-2?
Yeah, so from where I'm from, we don't win many games. So this is very new for me. Like beating UC was new for me, winning big games that are important. Like I've never done that, truthfully. I've always been the team coming in second place or not even making it to that championship game. So this is huge for me personally, and then obviously everybody's worked for this exact moment. Like we've all put in the hours, we've put in the extra time going through high school, and then obviously being an offensive lineman, we've been blessed with the size. So just getting to come to this point and actually being able to know that this is our opportunity, we have to take advantage of it, because you never know when you're going to get another opportunity like this.
How do you push all of the Detroit conversations to the side to make sure that you're locked in and ready to go on Saturday against Ball State?
Well, I think Coach Patton does a good job with that. Obviously he's like, we got to have it in the back of our head, like we've made it, but at the same time, like we have a job to compete for. I mean, we've got Ball State this week, who we have the rivalry with. I mean, we want to keep that trophy in-house. So he's been doing a good job preaching to us that like, hey, we still got another game. Like Detroit's 2 weeks away. Obviously stay as healthy as we can to get ready for that, but at the same time, like we still have games we need to win and want to win.
Have you ever been to Detroit?
Yes, I have. So in 2019, when the team was up there, my dad took me up there. I was a Miami recruit, and I was in my junior year of high school. And my dad was like, hey, you're getting recruited by him. Wouldn't it be cool if we got to go up and see him play? So and then one of my buddies lives up there, so I've gone and seen like around Detroit a couple of times. But like I said, I went up there for the championship game in 19. So
One of the things about this team is how the camaraderie on this team, I think, is really special. And we always talk about the offensive line has to be a family almost. Right. And you guys have been constant and over the last couple of weeks have really worn down opponents. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about how you've been able to stay strong through 60 minutes of a football game, and how you wear those guys down.
Yeah, so like during practices, I think practices have really changed. Obviously, we're still in full pads and stuff going into Wednesday, and we still have pads on Thursday. So I think that just consistent hitting and like feeling the pressure of obviously it's not going to be the same as what we're playing against, but we get to like continue to hit and feel the pressure going into each game. So I guarantee we're one of the few teams in the country who are still in pads this late into the season. I mean, we're just building up our bodies for that game. And then through the game, we have Coach Martin, Coach Pat, and all the other coaches. They're preaching we can't get too high or too low. I mean, it's a long game. It's 60 minutes. We got a long time to win a football game. So they keep us really level-headed. I mean, if we score a touchdown, obviously it's a good job, but then we go to the drawing board and figure out what we're going to do the next drive. It's never, great job, let's keep celebrating through the entire time. No, we're on the high for the celebration, and we come straight back down. And if we do too much, Coach Martin lets us know we're not allowed to do that no more.
Coach Martin pointed out after the game the other night that not only do you guys have a chance to go 10-2 to win 10 games, which is really hard in the MAC,
right,
but all of your wins have been by double figures,
right,
which is really hard to do in the MAC. How proud are you guys of not just winning, but winning so convincingly?
I just feel like it's really nice. Obviously, our defense is doing a great job keeping points low, and then our offense is we're starting to complement what the defense is doing. Obviously, it's taken us a little bit longer than we'd like to get where we want to be. We feel like we could score a lot more points faster. Obviously, our first quarters have not been great, but I feel like we're starting to complement each other, so it's getting a lot of power within one another. We start believing in each other. Like when the defense goes out there, we know they're going to get a stop, and when we go out there, we're going to score. Or if the defense does give up something, the defense can trust that we're going to go in and we're actually going to get points to complement what just happened. We're not just going to leave something on the table and ruin it for everybody.
You still got a while before the Ball State game, but I'm sure you've looked at film on the Cardinals. This is a team that loves to run the football. They got a great quarterback runs the ball. Miami's going to have to do the same against a pretty good defense. Ball State's schedule, their record isn't as they're better than that record.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You've seen their defense. What do you look for from that defensive front seven of the Cardinals?
Well, obviously last year it was a way closer game than we ever thought it was going to be. I mean, we've won the last 2 years on offensive mistakes on their part. And that's how we finally won the game in the end. So obviously this year we have to attack as quick as possible. They're, like you said, really good team compared to their record. They've played Toledo close. They've played a lot of other teams really close who you go into it, you look at the team they've played's record now versus their record now, it's way different. But they played them close. So they're a very talented bunch. I mean, we play them every single year. I know a lot of the guys, a couple of guys went to school around where I went to school. So, like, we know they're going to be good. And we know they're going to give us everything. Because they want the rivalry, too. Everybody wants the rivalry. No matter whose record is what, this rivalry still means something in the end. I mean, last year we were fighting for something a little bit more than just the rivalry. But this year, they want to stop our momentum, and we want to go through them to keep momentum into that next week. So it's going to be very big, and we got to just attack it like we have every single week. Coach Martin always says it doesn't matter how we win, it's just as long as we win. So we're going to go there, and we're not going to have any expectations for ourselves, and we're just going to go try to run through their face.
This is a follow-up to my previous question. You guys have accomplished what you have offensively after having lost Brett, after having lost Cold Iron, with Gage out for much of the year. What does that mean to you guys?
I just think it shows that we have a lot of depth, and we're still really young. I mean, we got a lot of guys coming back for next season, so it should we should be excited for years to come, because obviously our main key players who we thought we were going to have all season long, they get hurt. But, I mean, we've got Javon making ridiculous catches, doing a backflip after he gets hit and holding on to the ball, which is incredible. We got Rashad who came in for us, and he's doing incredible things. I mean, he's got almost 800 yards rushing right now. And at the beginning of the year, we weren't sure he was going to do that. We didn't know what we were going to get out of Rashad. Obviously, he can do stuff in practice, but there's no tackling in practice. We didn't think he was going to run through people on the goal line. We never thought he was going to do that. We never thought he was going to be able to accelerate like crazy going down the sideline to score touchdowns. Like, we're just finding new ways to score off of people and out of people we never truly thought was going to happen. I mean, we knew they were athletic. We knew they had the ability to, but them actually doing it for us now has been great. And obviously the points are coming, and it's working. So.